our lives is made up in Brussels, which makes our governments, our parliaments, totally useless. And the problem is that the people that go to this Mickey Mouse parliament are not specialists in the committees that they become members of. I am a specialist in the committee I'm standing, and I plan to put all the questions I can. Now, I will tell you a story, is that in the first session of this committee, they were supposed to elect the president and vice president of the committee. And the election moves in relation to the Hunt formula. And on the basis of this formula, I was supposed to be the vice president of the Budgetary Control Committee. And I was, how would I say, I was upset, but to a certain extent very satisfied to see how the two biggest groups in the European Parliament, this is the PPE and the Socialist Party, allied to vote me down as vice president of the Budgetary Control Committee. Obviously, it would have been recognition, but they didn't want to recognize me. And this, to a certain extent, made me happy because it showed to me how afraid they were about me standing in this committee. But it also showed, again, the lack of separation of powers, because they were very ready to ally with the Commission. It is the European Commission who didn't want me in this as vice president of this committee. Anyway, we'll see how it works. I feel that even if I am not the vice president, I will have the ability and the independence to challenge whatever they want to say, and not be tied to the consensus style that the management of these committees usually have. I will now turn a bit to comment on the Irish economy, the crisis you are going through, and which is basically the crisis most of the countries in the European Union are going through. And people are threatening or scaring the Irish people with the idea that they're going to lose jobs. Well, sorry to tell you, my friends, you have already lost the jobs. You are losing the subsidies from the European Union because these subsidies are going to the eastern countries. You are also losing the factories, manufacturing facilities that you have in Ireland because they are going to the eastern countries. And all these jobs are going to the eastern countries. So when they scare you about the loss of jobs, well, this is already happening. And part of the responsibility is coming from the European Union. This is the impact of this opening of frontiers to the eastern countries, which is not to be criticized, but it's not to be underestimated. This country has, had as one of its growing factors the fact that it has a very favorable corporate tax policy and has allowed many companies to settle here, and has benefited from this, and has allowed many people to get jobs in these industries. Well, let me tell you that if you ratify the Lisbon Treaty, the ability to have these individual decisions on your corporate tax will go away. So all these companies that are here today benefiting of this special corporate tax, they will go away. So more jobs will go away. I would like also to refer to some companies, established here who have no, how would I say, no respect for the Irish people and are ready to cooperate with the European Union if they can get any benefit from it. Such is the case of Intel, who has offered to finance, to give 600,000 euros to the Yes campaign. And guess what? Intel has a pending fine from the European Commission for competition issues. What are they buying? What are they buying? These people are giving away your country. Ryanair, the same case. You know, it's very strange that a couple of days after it has been decided that Ryanair will be able to buy the shares of Aer Lingus, they decide to give a lot of money for the Yes campaign. These are the companies that are in your country, that are giving away your country. I would like also to refer to the guarantees. The people in the Yes campaign or the European Union is, selling to you that this referendum is giving you the opportunity to vote again on a different agreement that gives you a number of guarantees. Well, let me tell you that those guarantees are not worth the paper they're written on. The Baroness Kinnock, my friend, yes, my friend, said a couple of weeks ago in the House of Lords that these guarantees do not change in any bit the Lisbon Treaty. The Lisbon Treaty will not change. And these guarantees would only be incorporated or become legally binding when there is a protocol upon accession of a new country. Now, you probably have been reading that the new country that would come in is Croatia, and there's now certain concern about the joining of Croatia. So it may take 2 or 3 years for these guarantees to be included in a protocol. But anyway, even if they were included in a protocol, what are they offering to you? They are accepting your unilateral declaration of neutrality. It's a unilateral declaration. That's all. There has been no agreement from the other countries on respecting your neutrality. They say that the guarantees were agreed with the other 26 countries. This is not true, because if they were agreed, the other 26 countries would ask for the same guarantees or other guarantees, and then they would have to re-ratify the treaty in all the other countries. So they are lying, they are cheating. They are not offering you anything else than what was offered in the last referendum. You probably have seen also some weeks ago that the German Court of Justice has given authority to the German government to ratify the Lisbon Treaty. But they have said that they will allow ratification if this is limited to certain areas. And they have expressly said that areas related to fiscal, to tax laws, areas related to social laws are national responsibility and can only be decided by the national parliaments. They have also said that they will not accept the fact that the European law has supremacy over the German law. These limitations that the German court has put to this treaty would require that this treaty goes for ratification again in all the countries. Are you going to accept that these people have these guarantees? These are real guarantees, limitations, and you don't have them. This is totally unfair. So you need to know that if you ratify this treaty, you will be in a very unfavorable position from a start compared to Germany, who already has